Setup. When we got the caterpillars, they were very small. The caterpillars grew very big after many weeks. Later, some of the big caterpillars started the pupa stage so they can get ready to become a butterfly. The caterpillars that were in the pupa stage were put into a tent, and we saw some of the caterpillars take the J position. Some of the caterpillars made chrysalises. When the butterflies came out, the chrysalises.
Egg. The monarch caterpillar egg can only be laid on milkweed. At first the eggs are white, but soon turn gray. A caterpillar is growing inside each egg. It feeds on the yolk, which is food inside the egg. After 3 to 6 days, the caterpillar is ready to hatch. It chews its way out of the egg and then eats the whole egg.
Little caterpillars. A caterpillar can start very small. It is not even half an inch when it comes out of the egg. When they are small caterpillars, they do not have big breasts. They have very small breasts. When they are caterpillars, you can't tell if they are a boy or a girl. After the little caterpillar comes out of the egg, it eats the egg. Then it would eat milkweed all day. Then they rest. When the caterpillars are very little, they can still eat very big holes in the milkweed. The little caterpillars still eat very small holes in the milkweed. They are green when they come out of the egg, and their head is black. Big caterpillar. The caterpillars eat lots of food to get bigger. If they do not eat, they will die. Eating is a big part of a caterpillar's life. The holes they chew are so big. Monarch caterpillars love to eat milkweed. Milkweed is all a monarch caterpillar eats. The frass gets bigger as they grow. When they get big, the frass is so huge that you will have to clean it out 3 times a day. Big caterpillar. As the caterpillar grows, it begins to molt. When that happens, the skin comes off. Their face mask gets brighter each time. The caterpillar's colors are yellow, white, and black. After they molt, they are 1 inch or higher. Molting happens 5 times. We got to see caterpillar molting and eat its face mask and its skin.
When the caterpillar is ready to become a pupa, it searches for the protected area with no spiders, birds, or other predators. After it is done, it attaches its hind legs to the silk button and hangs in a J position. It hangs for several hours.
When the skin splits from the caterpillar's head, it takes a couple of minutes for the skin to reach the top. It spins in a circle, making the skin fall off. The cremaster pops out and then sticks onto the silk button. The pupa is green with yellow stripes. It is also very weak, as if it falls, it would die. The change inside the pupa is called metamorphosis. The pupa hardens and now it's called a chrysalis. A chrysalis is green and has 2 gold spots near the top.
Emergence. When the butterfly is going to emerge, the chrysalis breaks open. Then the butterfly does a somersault out of the chrysalis and it holds onto the chrysalis. After that, they put together the proboscis because it was in 2 parts. Then they pump up the wings so they can fly soon.
Butterfly. The thorax is an oval-shaped body part that holds everything together.
The abdomen is below the thorax. It's shaped like a large oval with rings. The abdomen holds the organs. When the butterfly first emerges, it is nice and fat, but it shrinks. The head has a large dot right in the middle. The head is the most important. It holds the eyes, proboscis, which is its mouth, and antennae. The final body parts are the wings. The wings are made out of scales that, if rubbed, they would be harmed.
Butterfly. The butterfly eats by sucking nectar out of the flowers with its long tongue. The tongue is called a proboscis. The monarch likes coneflowers and other kinds of flowers. The butterfly has compound eyes to see the flowers. If you were feeding a butterfly, you would give it sugar water if you didn't have coneflowers in your backyard.
Butterfly. The monarchs are orange and black.
There is no difference between the male and the female, except the male has one black dot on each hind wing. These are called scent scales. They rub them together to attract female monarchs to mate. Females do not have this. Monarchs will mate only once in a lifetime. They both migrate, then die. The female will lay eggs, not the male.
Tagging. The tag goes on the middle of the front wing on the disc also. We tagged it because if anyone finds it, they can report it to Monarch Watch. The tag has a number on it, so they can identify it. We can go to their website and check if any of our butterflies were found.
Parade. When it is time to let butterflies go, you may have a parade. Our class made paper butterflies and chose musical instruments. On the big day, our teacher held the tent where the live butterflies were, handed out the paper butterflies, and led the parade. My class went into the 3rd and 2nd grade classrooms and then into a garden. We stood really still and quiet. My teacher poured a little Capri Sun on 2 lucky students' hands. They held the butterflies for a few minutes. I felt happy and sad at the same time. I felt proud, not sad, that I have helped this generation of monarch butterflies.
Release. When we released the butterflies, they didn't fly right away, so we had to gently shake them off. But once they got off, some flew away, but most just went on the leaves. We were also in the garden with 4A, 3B, and 3A. One of 4A's painted ladies went onto one of my classmates' finger.
We also had a parade. We had pictures of butterflies on a stick, and we had musical instruments and more.
Migration. In migration, monarchs fly from north to south, and they will try to go back north if they can. Cold kills monarchs. Butterflies west of the Rockies go to southern California. The ones east of the Rockies go to Mexico. They travel far, so they fly. The monarchs fly in flocks. When they reach the south, they fill the trees. In April or May, they head home.
Dangers. Birds eat butterflies and caterpillars. When butterflies go to Mexico to migrate, they may face dangers as in birds, weather, food loss, and finding a mate. Weather means it sometimes gets too cold. It rains, gets too cold, gets too windy, and not many trees on which to roost.
Food loss means when they fly that far, they will eventually get hungry, and since it gets colder, flowers die. In Mexico, some trees are being cut down. If all the trees are cut down in Mexico and California, the monarchs may never come back. They will be gone forever in our country. When caterpillars are hatched, it will be difficult to survive. Other animals or insects might eat them. If caterpillars fall and they gain chrysalis, they will die.
Milkweed. The milkweed starts to bud in spring. They look like tiny balls. Then milkweed seeds start to turn into a pod in the summer. They look strange in the summer. It looked like an oval with a point on the top. They are tough seeds in the fall. They look like dandelion fuzz inside the pods. When the milkweed plant turns into a flower, it looks beautiful. The liquid inside the stem is white. The milkweed is poisonous, but caterpillars and other insects still eat it because it protects them from predators.
Conservation. When we cut down milkweed, it causes caterpillars to not have enough food. If we can stop cutting down milkweed and plant more of it, caterpillars won't go extinct. When we cut down trees, butterflies don't have a place to roost down when they go to migrate. We need to stop cutting down trees because it hurts the environment. This is the same thing as milkweed. We also need to start planting more trees.
When farmers spray their plants with insecticide, animals and bugs eat the plants and they end up dying from poison. Insects help the environment, so even if animals and bugs eat the plants, we shouldn't spray them with insecticide. In your yard or any way that you can, try and plant milkweed for the caterpillars so they don't go extinct. I encourage you to learn more about the environment and plant more milkweed.
Lifecycle book. First, the life cycle starts at the egg. The egg is as big as the head of a pin.
After the egg hatches, the caterpillar eats half of the egg and then leaves it. Monarchs can grow so big that they outgrow their own skin. They molt 5 times. Then they start to make a chrysalis, which is at the pupa stage. At the pupa stage, after it makes the chrysalis, in a couple days before it emerges, it turns black. When it's about to emerge, it turns clear and you can see its wings. When the chrysalis emerges, a butterfly comes out and starts making its proboscis into two. After the proboscis is in two, it starts pumping its wings. Then it goes away for migration when the weather is cold.
Journals. While we had our caterpillars, we did observation journals. We did this for about 2 to 3 days a week. We shared about how we felt, our predictions, and thoughts. We also wrote about what we observed, like seeing a pupa form. We also wrote about how we felt when we saw a caterpillar munching away. Some people were really excited and some felt it was gross. Another example is how we would feel if we saw a bunch of grass. Some might like it or not. We also wrote about our predictions, whether we'd have a butterfly or chrysalis the next day. Then we wrote about what we thought, like, I love that, or that was gross. Lastly, when we were done writing our predictions, thoughts, and feelings, we drew a picture. We drew a picture of what we described on the journal sheet.
Microscopes. When we looked through the microscopes, we saw a caterpillar's skin. It looked like a black caterpillar was coming at you. When you see it up close, you can tell that it has some hair around its face. The butterfly's wings looked like velvet or scales. The face masks were shaped like triangles with stripes. It was fun.
Why monarchs? Monarchs are endangered. It affects nature's balance and they are God's creatures. We are caretakers of creation. Butterflies are beautiful. They are pollinators, which is important because they spread pollen to lots of flowers.